Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the Darkest Timeline podcast. So yes, you are stuck with me for the day, but I'll try and make it entertaining for you. There's the usual stuff, which is games, movies, and TV. I mean, there is if I've managed to do those things. There'll definitely be something from the week. So yeah. If you've been checking us out on YouTube, sweet. If you're subscribing on YouTube, sweet. Obviously, if you're listening, you can also subscribe. Don't feel like you're left out. You're not out in the cold. You can subscribe too. Prove me right by clicking that button. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get cracking. So here we go. This is CookieCast, the Darkest Timeline podcast. Right. I've put my drink the wrong way around. No. Let me quickly rectify it. It's an easy fix. Don't need to be worried. I know you're worried, but don't be. I had this idea earlier that I was going to start the podcast, and I was going to be like one of those super positive influencers. Just start being like, "Hey there, CookieCast crew." That probably just blew everyone's ears out. So you gotta fake it till you make it, haven't you? How you doing? How's your week? Good weekend? Get up to much? Right, that's that out of the way. I jest. Right. So, I've been through this before. The way podcasting works, for me, personally, being a titan of the podcasting world, I run a note. So I have a note set up on my phone. I usually start on a Tuesday. And over the course of the week, I just add stuff to it. What games I'm playing, my thoughts on those games, what films I've watched, my thoughts on those films, and then generally the stuff that pops up through the week. You know, this bad drive of this, and this, that, and the other. Up until Monday today, up until Saturday, I had nothing written down. Not strictly true. Not strictly true. I had very little written down. A little bit of TV, a couple of games, nothing else. Over the space of 2-3-ish days, I've got loads of stuff on the list. So much so that something happened within the last couple of hours. I was like, I'm absolutely putting that on the list. So there we go. I might not talk about everything. Coincidentally, there's not a lot of... I don't watch any films. I could have sworn I watched a film and for the life of me couldn't remember what it was. So then just presumed, do you know what? Don't think I watched a film. And one of those where some of the entertainment news, entertainment information, stuff that I've been watching or playing is not new. So I can't dwell on it. Then typically loads of stuff come up from the week. So yeah, peaks and troughs. First thing on the agenda is the new workout / new running deal. We've reached critical, it's not critical mass, but we've reached a critical point. I'm slotting into this routine kind of nicely. There's a couple of bits that I don't know how to say it. Alright, let's put it this way. Trying to do a 5k run at 6 o'clock in the morning when you got home at 1 o'clock in the morning, that's getting home, that's not going to bed, is not a lot of fun. And there's a thing. So, if I went out and did a run that was up to me, my own choice, where I went and how, and what I did and how I did it, the run would be 2.2 miles. So to get to 5k is 3.1 miles. I have to add 0.9 of a mile to my existing day in day out bread and butter run to complete a 5k. That's it. Do you know what the reality of that is? The reality is you have to add like 5 miles onto a 2.2 mile run to get to 3.1, also known as 5k. I will never understand the principle. It is baffling me beyond comprehension. I basically have to do the same distance again, and it doesn't even get me close. It's so weird. And yes, you're more tired at the back end of a run, especially when you know it's the back end of a run and all that sort of stuff. But I do, and this you will know, a long time listener will know, this is not the first time I've brought this up. Certainly not the second time. I'm pretty sure I was talking about this last week. I do not get it. Here's the thing. You take your 2.2. One section of the run I did on Saturday has to be half a mile. One section. So you think, okay, well, I just had that one section on. I'm half a mile closer. I'm basically spitting distance. I can start heading home at that point in time. No. Aspects like that are the bits that I don't find as fun. And like I say, I'll take the blame on that one. I owned up to it. I said, run wasn't amazing on Saturday. And then you get that's okay, because this Saturday, I think it's 6.5k, which I think is 4 miles. I will be attempting it again at 6 o'clock in the morning. Might die. As for the weights, I love it. Here's the thing I don't love about the weights. When you go to a gym, it's all just there. And yes, you have to load and unload and all that sort of stuff. But you just do it. It's like, I need to go and do a bench press. You go to the thing and you load it up and you do your bench press and you unload it and you walk away. Doing it at home, it's like the thought of having to change weight. It's like, do I have to? Outside of that, the exercise aspect, I love it. I love where I'm at. Started today, like I say, Monday, with increasing the weight in some areas. In hindsight, it's kind of one of those. Couple of the things could have maybe gone a little bit higher. A couple of other things maybe went a little too high to start with. Thing that I noticed was that like the last thing is like do press ups to failure, and I was able to do quite a few, which is a sign that I've not worked hard enough. So need to address that. But the biggest thing I need to address, and this is why I've sort of made a note of it, no matter how much I'm doing, running, working out, loving it, not loving it, whatever, it's all for nothing if I'm eating for England. So here's what happened. I started this new regime. I was like, I'll tell you something, I'm going to have to eat more for this. So rather than being like, let's get the protein going, and the grams of fat, the grams of carbs, loads of protein, I just heard eat more. So rather than eating, the stuff you're supposed to, I just ate. And then, everybody's surprised when I get to Monday and step on the scales and it's like, I've actually put weight on. My brother-in-law's like, sorry, what? You put weight on? I'm like, yeah. That's, maybe it's muscle. I was like, yeah, maybe it's muscle. Luckily for me, I did lose weight this week. And today is day one of getting the eating a little bit more balanced, let's say. So, let's see how we get on. By the sounds of it, it's basically going to get harder. And I don't think eating the way I was working on the bridge, but I just needed to eat, was the right answer. So sort that out, and then we'll start to see more benefits. So yeah. So, funny story. One that I'm not convinced I haven't already told, but let's tell it again if I have. And if I haven't, you can live the horror that I had to go through. No, I can't have told it because it was like last Tuesday or something. No, that's important. I joined a work call. Typically, the moment I join the work call, the dog's like, I'm awake. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I want to go out. Like, can you wait? It's like, no, I can't wait. Gotta go. Little ladder and all that. I'm like, okay. In theory, I can sort of maybe go to the door and just let him out, sort of. So I pick the laptop up, headset on, open the door of the den, let him out, open the back door, let him out. And I'm like, well, now I can't see him, so I don't know if he's done anything. So I was like, well, I've not lost connection, so I'll take a few steps. So I walked up and he did a wee. I'm like, all right, cool, there's a treat, well done, let's go back in. He's like, no, my friend. The reason I need to go out is I need to do some business. So he goes off into the very corner, the furthest point away of the garden. Has a little deuce. There's a little toozy. So I'm on the call, I'm like, right guys, I'm about to test my Wi-Fi because I need to go at distance. So I get the bag, give him his treat, well done, you did a poo. And off he trots. I get the bag, I go over, I pick up the poo, and a bird drops into the area where I am. I've kind of disturbed the bird that's in the hedge, and it drops into the area. I'm like, oh, okay. And then everything, it didn't go into slow motion. It was just a series of events. And it went like this. The dog has finished said treat, and once he's finished his treat, he's like, hey, let me come and watch you pick up my poo. So has trotted over to where I am. Has seen said bird has dropped into said area and thought, I'll have that. So out of the corner of my eye, I see a large object at speed come into the area, and I was like, so this is how you process things. My brain went, he's never going to get that bird. As he got that bird, I then was like, what the hell is happening right now? He shouldn't have been able to get that bird. Hang on a minute. And all I can see is like two wings, a head and a beak. The beak is going like the clappers, squawking quite literally for dear life. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I am haunted by this image, by the way. So I, bearing in mind, still on the call, with my headset on, scream at the top of my lungs, forgetting to mute the microphone, the dog's name. And I'm like, he is never going to let go of that bird. And I'm not thinking like, is he going to eat the bird? Am I going to have to watch? I can't watch. I'm going to have to walk away. No, this can't be right. This can't happen. So I screaming his name, kind of got his attention, but he's got a bird in his mouth. So he's like carrying on, chomping on this bird. Bird is going ballistic. So again, I'm like, I say his name quite loud, and I just say, drop it, leave it, stop it. And to give him his dues, he did. He just released the bird. I was just like, get back inside, which he did, and that was that. Said bird made an escape. I know that there's like a kind of thing where, although he's caught it, he might not have been using full pressure, and his teeth are small and all that sort of stuff. And a bird is probably fairly resilient, or alternatively, it went off to die somewhere. But the whole thing traumatized me. I'm a 30-something year veteran of the vegetarian community. Watching a dog eat a bird alive is not my idea of fun. So, you tell a couple of people and they start telling you horror stories about the things that they've seen their dogs do, or should I say, eat. But yeah, not fun. Not a good time. Something I can tell you is this. More sleep is a bad thing. I am beyond tired. I am 9th level of hell tired. I was never this tired with children. And I probably say that with time on my side, because I imagine that that's not 100% true, but if I stopped talking right now and just sat here for like 5 seconds, I'd be asleep. That's the level I'm at the moment. And I'm just tired all the time. Freaking dogs, like, do you know what time's a good time to start the day? I'll give you a clue, it's got a 5 in it. So, just, getting up super early, going to see the dog. The dog just seems to want to, it's like, hey, I missed you. I want to see you. It's like, okay, can you do it later in the day? Give me like an hour. But, there's an aspect of it that's nice, but there's also an aspect that I can't keep my eyes open. Add to that the, running and the working out and the X number of other things that I do. It's very tiring. Leanne, bless her cottons, does try and help out where she can. And a couple of mornings she has been like, look, I'll get up and see to the dog. You have, another hour in bed. bliss, some might say. So why is it that when you get more sleep, you feel worse? You know that thing where you like go to sleep and you wake up, could be 5 in the morning, and you're like, oh man, I could get up now and just really get a jump on the day and absolutely crush it. But you don't. You go back to bed and you wake up at 7 and you get up and you feel awful and you just hate everyone and everything. What is that? I had this thing Saturday morning. Done 5k run. I don't know if I've mentioned. I get back. Everyone goes off shopping. Dog goes off to bed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to utilise my time wisely by playing computer games. And I'm gearing myself up to play a game. And in the end, I was like, I've got a real tough decision here because I want to go to sleep. But I know if I go to sleep, I'm going to be in a bad mood when I wake up. But it reached a level where I was like, I don't actually think I have a choice in the matter. So I just got to grin and bear it. Luckily, in some ways, I didn't even get half an hour. So I think that kind of cushioned the blow. But it's just so weird. It's like more sleep makes you feel worse. I remember a time in my life where I'd get home at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'd get up at 7 to get ready to go to work. And I was fine with that. And I just went about my day. Yes, I was tired. But I functioned and that sort of stuff. The worst thing you can have is like, I'll just have an extra hour. It's just awful. Who knows what that's all about? I presume it's something to do with like rhythms, maybe. So, this was one of the subjects that I wasn't sure that I was going to talk about. But here we go. Friday just gone. Mr. Williams, podcast alum, Mr. Williams, put on a outdoor gathering. So that we had the option of going inside. We kept to the rule of 6, but spent the majority of the evening outside. Barbecue, beers, for some of us cigars, and then inside, bit of chit chat. I could see everyone was feeling it, so I ran everybody home, and like I say, got home at gone 1. So, amazing spread. Like the food was super good. Paul's always one of those, is like, if you need a spread putting on, he is the man to talk to. Good spread, good feed. I must have eaten like a week's worth of calories that night. But once in a while and all that. So we were chatting, having a laugh, all that sort of stuff. I think like when we'd gone inside, a situation arose. And it's another thing that's been haunting me ever since. And I think about it frequently. So, I'm going to have to be vague because I want to keep it somewhat in the PG kind of area. A subject arose about a sexual act, and everybody, a lot of people were very confused by said act. I realised, listening to what was being said and what we were talking about and all this and the other, that I actually have had an experience of said sexual act. So I was like, oh, well, I can tell you about that. So everyone's like, oh, go on then. And then I started processing it. So I was like, hang on a minute. So somebody was like, had asked if the other person in question was Leanne, and I was like, oh no. But then there was this kind of realization of like, man, do I really want to be talking like, telling tales outside of school? And I got stuck in my own head in this loop of, oh, I'll just say this. Oh no, I can't really say that. Oh, I'll just say this. Can't really say that. But the whole time this is going on, this like nervous grin started like creeping its way across my face. And then they would like, all of the people there were like pressing me more. And I'm like, but because I didn't want to say like, say something where somebody presses you and then you have to say something, I just ended up not saying anything and just grinning more and more. And then things got a little quiet, and then people kind of moved on. But it kind of haunts. I think about it a lot because now I'm like, oh man, I've said, I can tell you about that, and then I've not said anything, and now I'm like, basically that makes it look like I was like, oh, I can tell you about that, but it's not true. So, and it's that fragile male ego thing of me being like, they now think I don't know anything about that. I feel like I have to right the wrongs, but I can't at the same time. And I just ended up in this like perpetual loop of, the man in me wants people to know, but the, I suppose, more grown up man in me is like, don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't do that. So yeah, a lot of internal battles going on at the moment. Oh, I have a reminder for something that's coming up in this podcast. We need to talk about ice pops, people. It's an important subject. I feel this time last year this subject probably came up. I feel that it's probably not the first time I've talked about this. In a few weeks, less than a month I think it is, I'm going to turn 41. I've done that thing where at the age I'm at now, in my head I think I'm already 41. I think it's like a preparation thing. I don't know. I'm nearly 41 years old. But on a hot day, I like nothing more than an ice pop. I feel a weight has been lifted right there, ladies and gents. I don't know what it is. There is an aspect of where I can drink a tall glass of water. I can drink a cup of coffee. I can drink whatever. But there's just something about an ice pop. Really hits the spot. I can't remember what day it was. Was it Saturday? It was certainly a day recently. I think I had 5 ice pops over the course of a very short space of time. That's the other thing. I get a bit like, I'll just have another one. Because it's just, frozen whatever. Some sort of juice. Is there an Ice Pops Anonymous? And can somebody get me the number? So, weekend just gone. A few days earlier I looked ahead. I was like, what we're going to do at the weekend? What's the whole family going to do at the weekend? Let's look at the weather. Oh shit. Saturday, it's going to be this weather and it's going to be, 20 degrees, sunny, job done. Alright, I can handle that. Sunday is going to be sunny all day, 27 degrees. I'm like, batten down the hatches, it's go time, it's Armageddon. I'm like, right, here's the plan. Garden day, paddling pool, water pistols, ice pops, sun cream, sun hat, sunglasses, shade. Running around having a good time, not too much though because you don't want to overheat. Everybody's outside all day, getting it done. Boom. So I prepared all of the children for this. You have to follow a strict set of rules. Number 1, make sure you are drinking enough. Number 2, sun cream will be applied and reapplied. Number 3, you will wear your sun hat. Number 4, you can have as many ice lollies as you want, within reason. Number 5, and most important, it's all about having fun. We're going to get the paddling pool out, we're going to get the water pistols out, we're going to play games, we're going to do whatever. There will be shade. All of this. You know what's coming. By the end of Saturday, it's like, it's not going to be as sunny as we initially thought it was going to be. Also, it's not going to be as warm. It's only going to be 25 degrees. I was like, yeah, you're just saying that. It's still going to be sunny. It'll still be warm. Let's face it, come on. Sunday rolls round. Everybody's geared up, ready to go. The kids telling me at breakfast, look, I've drunk all my water, I drank all my juice. Okay, you're doing well. Any minute now, that sun's going to come out and it's go time. It's like, look, we need to get out early, get the dog walked, so that he can just chill out for the rest of the day if he wants to. So we went and walked the dog. And it was sunny. And then we got home. And it was grey cloud all day. And yeah, average sort of temperature for this time of year. I am sure there is a country where to be a weather person is a dangerous job, because if you predict the weather and get it wrong, I'm sure there's like a death sentence. I feel that I've heard that before. And I think that is fair. I mean, what's the point? Are we honestly in a situation now with all the technology we have in the world that we can't predict the weather? Because we're told that we can. Yet it's never right. Like, ever. I honestly baffled. Still had a water fight, which was a good time. Good time was had, mostly. But yeah, the kind of where I was like, we can have a water fight because 10 minutes after you finish water fighting, your clothes are dry. No, everybody came in, got changed, got dry, like a hairdryer kind of situation. It's like, what a letdown. I want to talk about a delicate subject. I don't think there is an answer to this, and I know that there are two camps. I am firmly in one of the two camps, and I want to see what you guys think. Hands up if you let your children win. Now then, I have not got my hand up. I don't believe in letting children win. That's not strictly true. I don't believe in letting children win everything. Some things I'm like, I'll play it down. Some things I will even help them win. Some things. Other things, I believe that as a parent, you don't need to let children win. And there it is, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the three things. Some things you should let them win, some things you should help them win, and other things you should absolutely destroy them at. It's life. So me and mostly my eldest, got playing a computer game, and it was a fighting game. Now, this is one of those things. I'm not very good at fighting games. I never have been. There was one fighting game, one point in time that I slaved over. And I put so much time and effort in these elaborate combos and also I learned every move so that I could do it. And then one day, at one point in time, just realised, I was like, what am I doing? Short version is, I am not very good at fighting games. But I am good enough to beat a child. So, I was like, okay, let's play this game. It's a fighting game. Oh, do we fight together? No. We fight against each other. Oh. Oh, indeed. I'm going to kick your ass. So I was like, this is one of the situations where I am not going to let my children win. And that's how it went. Played a few games. I won them all. Barely. I did win. But more often than not, only just. And this was the first time my eldest had played this game. Spoilers, not the first time I've played it. I was like, shit the bed. All it's going to take is for her to play this a few more times, and she's going to beat me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the point. The reason you don't let your children win everything is because one day they will beat you at whatever it is. And they will strive to do that. Me and my eldest play horse. I am 6'2". I've had X amount of experience playing basketball. Obviously, in my later years, I'm a little rusty, but being 6'2" helps. My eldest is 4 foot. Yeah, that's probably about right. So we adjust the rules for her. If she can hit the basket in any way, shape or form, she gets a letter. Again, she's never beaten me at it. But she's come close more often than not. And that's why we keep playing it. And I've had conversations with other parents where, we're in agreement. Don't let your children win stuff. It builds character. And I'm all about building character. What do you think? Am I wrong? Usually, anyway. So, like I said, a couple of hours before coming to do this, there was a situation. And I am not impressed. Oh, this just did an understatement of the year. So, turn the TV on. TV's like, I need you to accept some terms and conditions. What? Oh, okay, updated privacy policy, whatever. Clicked the button and it was like, accept all. I was like, alright, cool. And I was like, hang on a minute. What am I accepting here? Look down the list and it's all we have the right to sell your data garbage. It's like, sod off, you're a freaking TV, mate. So I was like, is there an option where I can just click one of them? There is. Click submit. You've selected not to let us sell all of your data. I just need you to know that by selecting that, you might not be able to use some of our services. It's like, I think I'll survive, mate. Don't you worry. Click. Oh, I need to update. Alright then. Had the TV on for literally 2 minutes to check something. Turned the TV off. Walked away. The youngest comes home. Oh, I want to watch a movie. Okay, that's fine. TV on. TV's like, I need you to accept some terms and conditions. It's like, the freaking hell is this shit? Yeah, because you remember last time where you said that we couldn't sell all of your data? Yes. Yeah, that doesn't really work for us, so we need you to say that it's okay for us to sell your data. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? No. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you go and, screw yourself? Okay, do you remember when we said you couldn't use some of our services? Yeah. What do you want to watch? Right, I want to watch something on Disney. Yeah, that's one of the services you can't use. What? Yeah, try use some of the other streaming services, see how far that gets you. What? So I went back, I was like, let me read this thing. And it was an absolute shit show. So, it goes like this. We want you to agree to allow us to send your data, in brackets, this includes your personal data, to a different country. Firstly, no. The country that we're going to send it to also does not adhere to any of the laws for the data privacy that reside in your country. Okay, so you want me to allow you to send my data to a country that doesn't abide by any data privacy laws. That's amazing. So yeah, that's that. We will collect all of your streaming data. We will look at everything that you've watched using the TV. And we'll then also collect your personal data, bundle it all up, and send it to a country that doesn't adhere to any legal rules around data privacy. Is that okay? Because guess what? If you don't say yes, you can't use the TV. That's the level we've got to. You are being held hostage. So I looked into, there's a thing, it was like, if you don't want it, after you've said yes, bear in mind that gives us long enough to collect a big chunk of data to sell. You can opt out by going through certain settings. And immediately I went, yeah, I bet that's buried in the deep, dark depths of your operating system. So I had a quick look. Bear in mind the whole time, the child's like, I want to watch Aladdin. And I'm like, I know you want to watch Aladdin. I would like to not have all my data stolen. So, yeah, couldn't find it. Couldn't actually get to the bit where I could say, don't steal my data. It's disgusting. Because this is the disclaimer that they're using on everything now. This whole, we're going to send it to a country that doesn't adhere to any data privacy laws. Because then we can do whatever the fuck we want with it. It's disgusting. This should not be allowed. You get the option to opt out on most websites. The iPhone now has a feature where if an app wants to do the whole tracking stuff, you can tell the app not to. Whether that works or not, I don't know. It's disgusting. And it should not be allowed. The reminder that went off my phone was that when I've done this podcast, I need to go downstairs and trawl through the settings on the TV and Googling on the internet to find how I tell that thing to not do that. Because the best bit was, the section I found that I thought it was like, oh, we need you to sign up. You can sign up with like Google or iTunes or Amazon. Let's steal your Amazon account while we're at it, because that's got a lot of personal data in it. Should we do that? I was like, fuck off. Anyway. No films, like I say, I don't think I can remember any films, so I'm guessing that it's a no. Did start watching a TV programme. I don't think I've talked about it before. It's a program called Breaking Bad. No. I have started watching Breaking Bad from the beginning. Again, not for me. Leanna's decided it's time. It's cool because I get to experience it kind of not through another person's eyes, but kind of, if you see what I mean. I'm not going to talk loads about it. What I will say is I think we are 3 episodes in. Pretty sure she's hooked. So that's good. I gave her a bit of back, don't just think that the first 2 series is the be all and end all and that sort of stuff. So, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to talk about some games. I've had the misfortune of trying for the bajillionth time to play the Avengers game. That game is fucking awful. I know, like I was saying before, that I try and keep the podcast as PG as I can these days. And in the last 2 minutes, I've probably sworn 30 times or something. But that game is the absolute worst. It's terrible. It's possibly the worst concept I've ever come across. And the thing I hate about that game the most is that I keep going back to it. Because I keep desperately wanting it to be good. Here, play as Iron Man. I'd love to. Oh, yeah, but you can't. Okay, cool. Do you want to play as Thor instead? Yeah. I'll have a go as Thor. Problem there. You can have the Hulk if you want. I guess. Yeah, there's a problem with that. It's like, oh, just fuck off. Honestly. And then all you hear is, oh, we've added this bullshit thing to this game that nobody cares about. Alright, that sounds like... And every release that they do, it's literally, we decided, rather than fixing our horseshit game, we'd give you more bullshit that you don't care about. Okay, thanks for that. I think the only real way to deal with this game is to fire it into the sun, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. So, to try and combat the utter horseshit that I've had to go through there, I was like, do you know something? I need to play a good game. So I played God of War 3 Remastered for the bajillionth time. Played through it in a few days, 2 or 3 days, maybe a little bit more. Back end's quite long. That game is hands down a masterpiece. I'll never be able to say enough good things about that game. Not going to go hugely into it now. It's now 3 generations old, so yeah, I don't think I need to go through it, but it was just that I needed something to cleanse my palate, and that really was it. Because I finished it, I went on to play the latest God of War game. I do like it, I do enjoy it. I reviewed it maybe overly harshly originally. One thing I will say, having been playing it this time, it's a game I think I might have played too much. I don't really play it, this doesn't sound weird, but I don't really play it properly anymore. I just try and find new and interesting ways to not play it properly, which I realised after a while was not the idea of the game. So I basically stopped playing it, and I have a distinct feeling that I might not continue playing. It's not like I'm missing out on much. I've played it loads of times, so we will see. I've got this thing at the moment. I haven't gone back to Biomutant, but I kind of intend to. More to find out if I actually want to play it or not. The problem I've got is that I really did not enjoy what I played, but I feel that's an unfair judge of a game. I had a conversation with Luke, and I said to him, I was like, I think the only answer for this game is to maybe just trade it in straight off the bat, because I honestly don't know if I'm ever going to go back to it. He did that very thing. I haven't, but I think I need to make a decision whether I'm going to, because I feel like I've got a little bit of a game purge coming up. Working on the principle that, maybe in like 2 or 3 years I'll get a PS5. I don't want to end up in the situation that I always end up in, which is where I've got like a big pile of last generation games. So I'm going to do another game purge quite soon. So there's that, and I do wonder if Biomutant might need to go in that purge. So I need to find out is the short version. I need to play it to find out. So there you go. Like I say, a little bit light on the entertainment stuff this week. Time is against me, as it always is, and it always has been. So there's that. But a lot of other stuff. So swings and roundabouts. That's it for this one, guys, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. So there you go. What do you think to that? Another one done. Woof. If you're watching us, then you're on YouTube, or you're using some kind of psychic mind link thing, which that's pretty cool. If you are on YouTube, do subscribe while you're there. Tell you what, once you've done it, drop us a comment and let us know. We'll pick the best new top subscriber. We'll send you a gift. Don't feel like you're left out though. If you're listening, you're not watching, you're just listening. If you subscribe and you drop us a comment, we'll send you a gift as well. Because we're like that. We're cool. We're cool. We're cool. Anyway, I'm going to catch you guys next time. But until then, I'm going to say bye. Bye-bye.